It's going to be a more interesting match, I think, for a lot of people. This is IE versus RPGS, both previously Division A teams. Both, I believe, I don't remember if RPGS were in the finals last time they played, but I remember, I believe it was IE versus RPGS, anyway. What music do you want? You know what? Just for you, Ilu. You're German, right? What was the guy's name again? What was the German's DJ guy name? Oh, God, what was his name? Ah. I don't remember his name. I don't remember his name. You know what? Whatever. We'll turn the music off. But, yeah, match IE versus RPGS. Quite story teams, I would say, in the community. RPGS, more recent players. IE players have been playing a lot longer, but RPGS started off in, I believe, Division C or D, and then within the next season, which is very fast for Bannerlord teams, they were, especially for Bannerlord teams with completely new players, they were within Division A. I believe they came second last BNL, I could be wrong, but they're doing quite well for themselves, and IE are definitely, at this point, the what would you call it? They're the favourites, I would say, going into this. But we'll see what happens as I load up all of the stuff that I need. Set 2, 2 set 1, 2 set 2, Team 1 tell, Team 2 tell. There we go. Right, and looks like we're going to get into it right away. No wasted time. Let's go. As I fix all of my things, because I haven't fixed them yet. I'll do that afterwards. Anyway, in we go. DL is stuck on my screen, like usual. Set 1, round 1. Let me put their names in. Just IE versus RPGS. Whoopsie daisy. There we are. Right. Sturgeon and Albie deciding to capture the C point. Both teams grouping towards middle. This is the first time we've seen both teams begin with 4 imp. Probably a little bit of an indication that they know what they're doing slightly more. Sturgeon getting his horse hit a tiny bit, but nothing too severe, just a little tap. While RPGs are saying, okay, we want to fight on A. They're turning around to move on A. Saviour's doing a little bit of poking behind them, getting actually hit quite badly, but Albie and Sturgeon are keeping them away. They're now chasing them down into the open. They sort of dancing backwards and forwards, but they've managed to get 2 flags out of it. RPG's little bomber from Sturgeon doesn't quite get it. Albie takes a lot of damage from Saviour here, and a little swing from Reincarn, but he doesn't quite connect with it. And there's a lot of dancing and backwards and forwards here, trying to position themselves in the best place that they can. B's going to get captured. A, I think, is going to be left up, unless they really, really do want to play A. And the Cav here, getting a little bit aggressive. Saviour takes a little chunk out of his horse again. Oh, he's really, really wanting to get some damage. He knows that he hit Albie quite badly. Maybe he's trying to take him out early. But now we have, again, they're running away. They're going towards A. They're moving away. They're keeping C capped. Vlandy and Imp this time are going to... Oh, no, they're not going to ignore the flag. They're going to force it. They're saying, you want A so badly, we're going to force A. Well, they're thinking about it. They are doing it. Oh, and Albie goes down. Nice, actually, 2v1 from Pablo there, as the Imp are trying to surround Sturgeon, get some value, but now the fight begins. Sturgeon goes down. No Cav for Vlandia, as they're now getting 3 stabs into the back. Morgan does go down first, though, as the IE Imp are trying to live. Chrissy goes down, however, in response, and finally Pablo's dismounted. Popo finished in the corner, and this is a very, very strong round 1 from RPGs. Tom goes down, and Arnie's going to try his best here, but... Oh, he does get some value. He's still... Oh, and he goes down. But even with that kill returned, a little bit of shit talk in chat from Reincarn, they managed to get taken down. As the second life Atlanteans are coming in, Saviour's prodding a bit, but gets traded out with the horse. The Aserai Cav are preferring to stay away from this one, it seems. As Percy goes down, Sneaky's in the 1v2, trying his hardest. Actually doing quite well. Eventually goes down, Morgan goes down. Pablo's managed to find a horse, quite unfortunate. And here comes Saviour. Does Sturgeon see him? He doesn't! And he gets taken out on second. That's quite bad indeed. Albie running for his life. The Aserai Cav are faster though, so he has to run to his team. And I think we're going to see... Oh, a takedown. Not that it matters, he was first life. And now everyone, both Cav are on second. Albie's going to try and get some value and do a bit of bombing, but he gets punished for it. Morgan is in the back, doing some... I don't really know what he's doing. Oh, he's on last life. That's why he's sort of sitting towards the back. But quite actually a good reset here. Albie does get dismounted, but he gets the kill. This has sort of evened things up now with that kill from Albie, and the IE Imp for doing incredible work. They still have flag. They're not pressured by morale. And now RPGs have to secure this. Arnie's on 1 health. Tom is on 1 health. Popo is on 1 health. But it is still doable. It is still clutchable for the Imperial Eagles. Albie's getting a little bit pressured. Stabbed in the back, but he's okay. He's a little bit low. And here they come. Engagement happening. They're just using this wall. They're kiting them out. They're trying to open their backs to Pablo. Albie's here too, but the Infa running towards him. Morgan takes a hit though. Not what you want to see. Tom immediately goes down. Does get hit. Popper goes down. Double kill for Sneaky. And the IE Imp are finished. After that first round, after that first fight, it's not entirely surprising. But quite a good attempt at a comeback from IE. They don't quite manage to do it. The biggest thing, though, that I've been noticing is that Saviour and Pablo are very aggressive into these cav duels. They're quite happy to chase Sturgeon and Albie around, do as much damage as they can do, try and get a pick on them, whereas I think the IE cav duo are wanting to play a lot more safe. Let's see if it's the case, and as I said, it looks like they're going to sprint to go duel them on A. Big fucking hit. But his horse gets traded back, and he has a weaker horse. When they have these nice little tanky horses. Saviour doing his best. Albie does get dismounted, though. Pablo gets hit, and he's getting trapped in by a spear. They don't quite manage to make it. Oh, but Saviour goes down, and it ends up being not worth it. He tries to slow the horse for his friend, but it's not enough. They're probably going to kill it. Yep, they're going to try at least. It's a healthy fucking horse. And now they are on the retreat. They're kiting out. They want to kite this Imp out. Spread them out for their people. Percy goes down, though, even though Sturgeon gets dismounted. Now Saviour's on the outside of this fight, thinking about what he wants to do. And the answer is he wants to do nothing. He wants to live for the second lives of Aserai. So, interesting beginning. Pablo still first. He might go for a bomba. He was thinking about it, but there's 2 spears on the side of IE, sort of preventing him from doing so. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Saviour play very safe this next fight. But they're going towards C to capture it. Maybe they're wanting to send a cav to A. I'm not sure. Looks like they are going to go to A, but I know this. They're sniffing out the plan, and so they're pushing them in the middle. Again, they're getting kited. Sturgeon does go down from a throwable, I believe, and they're getting kited into oblivion. Tom and Arnie are now caught at the back here. It's A point again, but these two are in a 2v3, and Cav's coming. They're trying their best to live and clutch in this situation while they're waiting for their backup. Pablo gets a good back hit, however. I don't know how that wasn't called. Albie gets punished, but not quite punished enough. And it looks like they are... going to clean up their first lives? Yep, they are. So, the Acerite Imp actually quite healthy. Morgan's a little bit injured. Percy's on last life, so you have Sneaky, Morgan, and Reincarn, as well as Pablo, looking to reset here. So they're going to be looking to get as much damage as they possibly can, trying to turn their life into as much value, and he does get a fucking lovely hit onto Tom there. The big bomb from Pablo. Let's watch his POV for a second, as he's going to try and get some value this fight. Gets stabbed, trying to get anything, gets a nice hit, maneuvering around the fight quite well, hits onto Chrissy, and just trying to get anything, gets another stab onto Mega, doing quite good damage, and eventually gets taken down. But not the worst reset, probably not the best that you want to see, because Vlandia Imp are so much stronger than this Acerite Imp. They have no throwers. They are 2 regular Cav into the 2 slightly tankier Cav in a small area, which is not what you want to see. Granted, Sturgeon's horse is quite low, but here they go. They're starting the fight. Tom's at the back with a spear, gets a nice little stab in. Sturgeon comes out, but gets taken out immediately with a double stab from the duo. Tom takes him down, though. Meanwhile, Chrissy dies in the imp fight. A team hit, though, evens things up, but Albie's being taken down, while Morgan's down as well. It's now a 3v4 situation. Make that a 2v4. Make that a 1v4 situation for Tom. And he does go down. More flame from Reincarn. He's trying to get in their heads, I think. now the tilt return comes. The tilt return comes. But looking at the scores, you can see who's doing a lot of work here. The Imp on RPGs are actually doing a shit ton. Reincarn with 700 score. While they are moving on, and they're doing the same thing, running past B, going towards A. I don't know why they've decided they don't like this B point. Maybe it's a bit awkward for their Cav, and they think their Cav's better. I'm not sure, but it's working out for them. That's for sure. Are we going to see a 3-0 on Aserai? We've already seen that Aserai was the favoured faction on the other AB match between Hink and Blast, I believe it was. As they are starting the engagement. Again, they're doing the same thing. They're running around, trying to split them, but they've actually done a good job of containing a couple of people. They get the hit. Pablo's trying to get some value. They're not going to be able to do it. While Percy goes down. Sturgeon comes in for a kill. Chrissy with a double. Not too bad at all, but Tom does get taken down below half. Everyone else is kind of healthy. Here comes the Cav duel. A little stab here and there. Saviour's still quite healthy on this first life. As this second fight is beginning, Tom gets taken out by Pablo. Not quite doing the work he needed. Popo gets taken out, but Percy's returned again. Saviour goes down, and this is a very clutchable fight. Sturgeon's trying to get some value, as is Albie, as Chrissy's spinning around another TK. Reincarn maces his friend in the back, as Albie is playing defense with Sturgeon from the Cav. Sturgeon's still relatively healthy. He is getting hunted. Oh, lovely hit from Popo to take down, and Morgan goes down on his last life. This looks very rough. Maybe this is why they don't want to fight in this area. It seems like the Vlandians are doing a lot better. Reincarn goes down, and Saviour's getting hit. Chrissy in a 1v2 situation, living his best. Here comes Cav. Does get bump stabbed, quite unfortunate. Sturgeon tries to get some value. Unfortunately, he blunts, and he's trying to live. Doesn't quite get his sword out. But that's okay, because it's first life. And we have a 4v6. If they clutch this, I would be amazed. Let's see what they try and do. They're walking right back around to the outside. Albie actually only has a shit life, as the Sturgeon, but they've sent them on this round. Really important, actually, here, that they don't die. Lots of spears out. just prodding as he gets reared eventually and taken down. Pablo's also getting reared and killed by Albi, and it's quite a clean sweep. A very good clutch up from the IE team as they clean that up quite nicely. Very nice to see. A good match so far. No flame in the chat from the opposite side. I'd love to see it, to be honest. It'd be quite funny, but anyway. As we go into the final round here. And here we go. When we get to the halfway point, I'll throw out a prediction for everybody who's interested. As RPGs are sticking to their guns this time and moving towards A, I already know this, that's why they're hovering around. They've left B open this time. Maybe they're trying to force it B. As Albi goes in. Goes for the stab, doesn't quite get it. And this is a much more normal, less drawn out imp fight, which is better for the imp. They're a lot stronger in the line. And they do get taken down. Double kill for Arnie. As Albi takes a little bit of a nasty hit, but Saviour's getting caught up in all that. Popo does go down, hit by Pablo, unfortunately. But looks like they're doing well. As Pablo taken down by Popo. He's a shit life on a horse. Okay, I've not seen this before, but I respect it. He's being a bit of a menace on the Cav. Reincarn goes down. Sneaky's probably going to be a reset here. He is. Savior goes in for a little stab, doesn't quite get it. Meanwhile, Popo's here with his budget Cav. He said, fuck it. I'm riding a horse, I'm going 3 lives. Here they go. Drops. Oh, he does get taken down, but he trades for Savior, so it's not the end of the world for them, I suppose. Reincarn dies. A good entry from Sturgeon means that Morgan dies as well. And in fact, they're going to win this fight, even with only 2 imp. They're doing a good job of resetting the shit out of them there. And that was a surprisingly fast round in comparison to what we've seen. RPG's just getting a bit caught up in this, like, line v line battle against Flandia, who are arguably the best line v line faction in the game. Not something you want to do. What they were doing the first 2 rounds, which worked out so much better, is they were splitting up, using jabs, running around. But, oh, we have a switch. Saviors went Archer. Interesting. We have 4-1-1 on the side of RPGs. Not something I think is particularly good on this map, but nevertheless. We'll see how it works out for them. Maybe the Cav is being a bit too much. He's trying to get a little cheeky shot here. He can hit through there. Gets a nice hit. I've not seen this position used, but it's working out. Arnie goes down. Percy gets traded, but that's a good trade for them. Tom trying to slam into that horse. And Savior's getting pressured out by Popo. He's running to his 2nd lives. It's now Reincarn and Morgan. Have to get as much value as they can. Let's take a look. Oh, I was about to say let's take a look at Reincarn's POV, but he did fall down. Morgan's trying his best. He dies too. Popo's having a little bit of a 2nd life skirmish over here as Savior gets hit from behind. Didn't quite see Sturgeon. Sturgeon gets reared. Not enough damage though, and he still gets the bump stab off. As these Cav are just trying to feast upon this Asteroid Inf. It's not quite working out for them as they wanted, I think. But Popo's getting a nice hit. Gets a kick. Doesn't get to punish it, however. A couple of nice blocks from Albi, but they do go down. As we have 1 Cav. Pablo is still on 1st life, so we might see if he tries to reset or bomb, or whether he's going to try and reset with his 2nd lives. But Saviour and Percy are the two we want to take a look at. They're just, in fact, hiding in spawn. They're being quite smart. They're not going to risk it. They're not going to risk getting pushed. Morgan picked up a bow. He's doing as much work as he can. But they both go down. Albie's cleaning them up right now. Gets a nice bump as well as they die. And now we have the final fight. One archer. It's B point. I don't think this is good for the archer at all. We'll see. See if Saviour can find a cheeky spot again. He's standing on top of this thing, taking pot shots at the guy. Pablo's baiting for him. Misses the shot, though, as they're fighting now in front of their archer. Their archer's got a little pedestal. This is quite a good position for Asarai. Sneaky does go down first, though, and that means Tom's freed up to push. And I think he just team hit Pablo with his bow there. Quite unfortunate, as the Asarai info cleaned up. And it looks like we are going to have a 3-2 first set for IE. Not bad at all. Arnie's already speaking shit in the chat. You know how it be. As we have a 3-2. Let me just make sure that everything's sorted. I think it is. As I switch to my scoreboard. Is that correct? That is correct. There we go. Wonderful. Actually, an interesting first one. That spot might make Archer actually viable, but the issue remains that it's such a close area. If they just sit on that wall, it's kind of like awkward for your Archer to get any value if they sit here. But we'll see what happens. I think they the Cav was, I think, arguably in favour of RPGs. I think they were doing quite well, but at the end, Albie and Sturgeon, I think, settled in and finally started to do a lot of damage. Worked out for them in the end. We do have a switch up here. Looks like they're switching up their imp a little bit. RPGs are staying the same. And let's see. Let's look at the profile pictures. Oh wow. I respect it. Yeah, it's a very strong spot, but I think it's also... I don't know if I'd want to be stuck in here trying to shoot. It's a strong spot for sure. Either way, we'll see how this second set goes. After the first map, I'm going to get predictions. I'll give her a map to see how each side are doing, and then I'll throw up a prediction of who's going to win, RPGs or IE. We'll see what people feel like in the chat. I think that'd be quite fun. But either way, we are slowly... The end warm-up has been done. We're moving into the round. Let's see who wins. Thank you so much for the sub. Thank you, Killian. Appreciate you. And let's get right back in as they are choosing their things. Perfect. All right. Flame from all sides going on. CI catching strays. And here we go. Saviour immediately out the gate. Oh my goodness. And what I said before is entirely correct. They are just quite happy to Gigabomb. And Albie jumps out of spawn. He's getting hunted on second. This is really, really bad. He's now got to survive. Sturgeon has to help him. Gets a nice hit into the back of Pablo. But Albie is still half health and he's getting hunted like a dog. This is POV. Oh dear. He's running for his life. They eventually give up to cap flag, I think. Nope. They're still hunting him. He's trying his best. Sturgeon's going to A. Looks like that Pablo's going to try and get some more value on the A point. Saviour's there to help him out. He does see him. Doesn't quite get him, however. He's jumping off a nice little actual jump place there. I didn't see that. While RPGs are just running away from the fight, they're trying to give their cav as much time as they possibly can. But it's not enough. They do get caught. Sturgeon gets taken down, though I didn't even see it. And that is one person out immediately within a minute of this first round. Morgan with a double kill. Reincarn does go down, however. Chrissy goes down, and it's a bit hard for the imp to do that. DL with a lovely little bonk on the back of the head of the cav there. And he's doing a good job again. Doing quite a lot of damage here in the 1v2 as well is Arnie. This is a very, very good 2v4 they're doing. DL's trying his best. Gets another hit. Does eventually get taken down. DL, my go. But the issue remains that Albie is on second life. Popo has went cav to shore up the defensive. But that means Arnie, DL, and Chrissy are in a 3v4 imp fight. Let's see if it works out for them. Percy quite injured. Morgan quite injured. Sneaky quite injured. And Reincarn dead. Ooh, nearly gets Saviour. These cav are just so aggressive. Saviour's still on first, though, so he actually doesn't care too much. He's just trying to get any value that he can. Meanwhile, the fight over here is happening. They're slowly pushing. A nice stab in the back from Popo will finish off Percy. Remember, though, these are just resets as they go in. They do get taken down. And if they can reset without any Asurite Imp deaths, this is... And they do manage to get it. Saviour's going to die, but he's on first as well. They're just going to leave him. Popo's trying not to let them get away too easily. He's trying to slow them down. Baiting them into the Imp. Morgan does take the bait. And Percy also takes the bait. I just heard a crossbow. Saviour's in spawn, shooting from spawn. Trying his best to get some value here. Does have to jump out. Chrissy goes down, DL goes down, but these are all acceptable losses for Asurite. As Arnie is eventually taken down, and now we have everyone on their last lives. I don't know how this has turned into a 5v5, but it has. 0 cav on the side of RPGs, but 1 expo. And to be fair, Albie's horse is looking quite injured. Popo's horse isn't the healthiest either. As he does take down Albie and kills him. But Popo gets a return kill onto Reincarn, so it's still even. Can Popo get the value he needs? Saviour doesn't even look behind himself for Popo. He gets another stab in the back. It's now a 3v2 in the imp fight. Make that a 2v2. Percy does go down, and it's quite a good cleanup. But it's still a surprising round 1 victory for IE. Asurite God being said in chat. DL's title, apparently. We love to see it. As we have the IE squad rolling out. Another cav duel. They're going in for it. Albie's horse is half. The rest are kind of okay. They're trying to get as much damage as they can. Looks like IE are getting losing on this. And yep, he does get taken down in the cav duel. Albie's horse is 1 health. Oh, he just survives though. And I don't think you want to take this cav duel. Sturgeon's riding around. Pablo's going to chase him around again. RPGs once again are avoiding the fight. Buying their cav time. Quite a sizable cav difference so far. As he gets another hit, and he gets dismounted on second. You don't want to see this. Don't die before first fight again. But I think it's a foregone conclusion. He can't live. Well, he's part of the first fight now, but they're going to be trying to kill him. Look at him sort of scurrying away, trying to hide. But Popo gets a lovely dismount on both of them. Albie's still up on first. Morgan delivers a horse. And you can see Sturgeon trying to walk away. He doesn't see the Cav behind him, though. And he gets picked off. And he's out again on first fight. Not what you want to see. But other than that, IE, they may have taken out the Cav again. But IE, once again, have cleaned up the Vlandia team on their first lives. So as much as we're focusing on the Aserai Cav being taken out, which is a big, big blow, they still are in a good position here. And once again, if they wanted to, Popo could switch to Cav on his second life. He has more than enough for heavy Cav. We'll see if he decides to do it. Looks like he is. And we again have this 5v6 situation. However, these 3 imp have lives. They have more than enough time. Thank you so much for the follows, everybody. This is a crazy game. They're trying to bait them out into the open, but they're being surrounded by all of these imp. Popo doing his best. Looks like they're just going to let them try and get some damage in and reset, but RPG's doing quite well. And only Morgan is injured. Only Morgan is injured from RPGs, and B is a very, very strong point for imp. I'd say this is heavily favoured in RPG's side. Let's see if IE can make some difference here, make some changes. Maybe they want to hunt their Cav. But nope, they're going to go in for a bit of an engagement. Albi gets dismounted, though. He's now just a glorified imp with a spear. He's going to be looking around. He does get taken down. While the IE, they take down one of the imps, but there's a trade back. And now Saviour gets another stab in, and it's just Chrissy and Popo trying their best. But he does get reared and killed on the wall. Oh, nearly killed. Bump finishes him off. And that is, again, a tough round. A very, very tough round. Are you done on my description, Prez? Are you hating? Are you hating? I think it's a good description. But we're moving into the third round, 1-1. He went in for a little hit on Albi as the flame continues in chat. They are now running down the RPGs, trying to force a fight. Looks like they're going to be able to actually catch them this time, as Sturgeon's coming in to bump and hit them. Saviour goes and gets taken down immediately. We have an awkward fight on the stairs. Not quite what they wanted, I think. This is quite good for RPGs, but Percy's in a 1v2. Does eventually drop, but Arnie gets traded for it. Not the worst trade in the world. And the fight gets eventually cleaned up by IE. So again, first life's Aserai, not terrible. Sturgeon does get taken down. Albi comes in for a little bump hit, but Rika manages to do it. Ooh, tries to stab Pablo. Pablo gets the better of him. And they might actually end up winning this fight. Another hit from DL onto Reincarn, and this is quite an intense situation. Oh, a trade backwards and forwards of the imp. Cav handshaking, saying we want this fight to be over. Little swing and a miss from Saviour on Albi there, as he's sort of running from Pablo the best that he can. As Pablo, now the only person alongside Albi, first life. I take it back. Pablo now the only person on first life. See what he wants to do with it. Is he going to reset? He's trying to get a little bit of value. He gets his shield hit, however. He's hunting Sturgeon. Trying to catch him a bit. Doesn't quite hit it. Still have Javs. Saviour's round the back. Like, look at how much attention these imp are giving to this Cav. Every single time they pass by, they're trying to just swing at the horse, get value on the horse. This is the sort of thing that happens in these higher division games that lower divisions don't do. They let the cav walk around, they kind of lazily pay attention to it, and it opens up opportunities for these very good cav players to get a lot of value. Again, look, they're turning, trying to get it. DL does get hit, though. Popo does go down almost immediately in the second fight, as does Sturgeon. Not what you want to see. Sturgeon on his last life here. They're trying to get any value. They have to win this fight. Sturgeon does go down. Chrissy goes down. But this time, there's no chance for a cav player on the side of IE to fill in the spot. As Savior resets Pablo. And we have the last lives here. Savior just trying to get any little bump damage, any little damage he can get. Albie's quite low on his last life. A little stab does hit him, however. Sneaky's also, however, on 1 health. A lovely throw from Sneaky, though. Who needs health if you have a Jav? But trades backwards and forwards are in a 3v3, but there's 2 cav on the RPG side. Just spinning around the fight, getting some value. As much value as they can. Arnie doing some work. DL eventually goes down, as does Popo, and now it's just Arnie against the wall, and it's not going to be enough. Vlandia 2-1. Are we going to see a 3-1 Vlandia? Are we going to see RPGs take the lead, or is IE going to make a comeback? Let's find out. Looking at the scores, you can just see how much value Savior's getting. He's killed their cav and their imp so many times. As they go in again for the cav duel. This time IE backed up by their imp. So they're just going to run away to their own imp, capture the flag. And a lot more measured of a response from RPGs as... Oh, I think we're going to see a bomber. Here he comes. Cav duel. Bomber. And he gets another juicy hit on both of them. Another hit. Albie's on 1 hit. So Sturgeon. Savior is just fucking destroying this cav duo. He's doing incredible work. As Pablo now being left to do a bit of the fighting. As Sturgeon does go down again. Very unfortunate. As Popo gets taken down as well. He had Spear out, but he got focused. DL gets taken down. And they have just very, very swiftly removed the first lives of this Aserai side. Quite impressive. Barely any damage. Pablo got fucked up a bit in the cav duel, but other than that, they're doing quite well. Albie on 1 hit, Pablo on 1 hit. But Savior still full health. And again, looks like they're moving to A to try and chase down Sturgeon. This time the Inf are there. And Sturgeon is having to hide in his Inf. As they're forcing A point. As final spot here. Savior goes for another little bomb on Albie. Tries to get him out, but Albie doesn't take the bait. As we now have a line fight. As I said before, in my opinion, line fights like this in this sort of corridor do benefit the Vlandian side most of the time, but Vlandian has immediately went down. Sneaky's getting prodded in the back by that spear. And Mega, or Arnie, goes down. Savior goes down. Chrissy goes down. And like I said, they do have the advantage in these tight areas in the line. But now it's only Morgan and Sneaky and Percy on first life. They're going to try and fight them again in a close area. While the Cav are having a little bit of a duel, I think. Or maybe he's just killing a horse, I'm not sure. Here they go. Doesn't get stabbed in the face. Not the perfect thing, but DL gets stabbed in the back by Albie. Double kill for Sturgeon, cleaning them up. Not too much damage onto DL, to be honest. As Sturgeon gets dismounted, you hate to see it. Pablo doing really good work still, and he dies. And he is out again for this final fight. 5v6. 5v6 on this A point. They're just waiting. They're being quite patient because they have 2 cav, the others have 1. Xavier and Pablo can spend all the time they want in the world as long as they don't get pushed to try and get Albie out. Which is exactly what they're doing. They're just delaying the fight, blocking his exits, trying to get any value they can. Albie's just running around. Very scary for Albie. As they are slowly beginning the engagement. Albie gets a nice stab into the back of Sneaky there. DL is on 1 health though. Sneaky does go down first. Oh, and my game's crashed. That's very unfortunate. Oh dear. Oh no. What on earth? Something just happened which crashed my game. I'm so sorry. What the fuck? I'm loading up ASAP. I can't believe it. I'm going to have to ask for the score. I think that final fight is going to be over by the time I'm back in. My goodness. I crashed. Who won the round? Oh, wait. I can't believe I crashed. Okay. Team. We had a... I think RPG's won. Very unfortunate. I'm so sorry, guys. So it's a... Three, 1, which makes it a 4-5 total. There we are. I'm so sorry about that. So, ignoring that small sort of technical difficulty. Like this RPGs, and it is 5-4. There we go. Wonderful. I'm going to put up a poll. Let's see. Let's take a quick look. So we are now going into Lakeside. Arguably a better map for everything. I think it's just a better map. Sorry. I'm going to make a prediction. And we are going to... I apparently didn't pay one out. Whoops. Who will win the match? Halfway point. Will it be Imperial Eagles? Or will it be Rampagers? You will have 2 minutes to vote. There you go. Prediction has been started. Who's going to win? Put your channel points on the line. Quite a dominant Cav difference, to be honest, if we're going to be completely frank. I don't think I need to say any more than that. RPG's Cav have been doing a lot better. But we might see, on this map in particular, they might run 1 Cav 5 Inf, they might switch up their Cav player. It really depends on what they're feeling like. So let's take a look. Everyone, spend your channel points. Who's going to win? You got a couple of minutes to do it. As we go into Sturgia versus Empire. Either way. Okay, people on both sides. I'm liking the look of the predictions. Speaking about everything else, however, I will say this. If they do run Archer, I think the Archers are going to be a lot closer in ability. I think that the Imp definitely in an equal fight. Now that they brought in Burst and Camby and a few other people, I think that the Imp is probably IE-sided. But RPGs have very good Inf as well. I think Infantry is probably the closest that they are. I wasn't expecting this much of a Cav gap at all in this round. Albie's a very storied cavalry player, played Divey, I think one Divey, I'm not entirely certain. Sturgeon, been Divey, one Divey before as well. So, to see Savior, who is an archer, originally an archer main, I believe, playing Cav and playing it to the level that they believe it is, I think it's quite impressive. It's playing to Division A level. So we'll see what strategies they devise. Are they going to play 5 Imp? Are they going to play 1 Cav? Are we going to see 2-4? Are we going to see an Archer? Who knows? As they are finally ending the thing. And so let's take a look as we switch over to our third set. Wonderful. Here we go. We do have 2 Cav, Poppo and Cav this time. We have Tom, Arnie, Camby, and Burst facing up into Percy, Sneaky, Morgan, and Rinkan with Savior and Pablo and Cav, the exact same setup as last time. As they're getting ran in the middle, slowed down a bit by Poppo. They're finding a place to fight. Albie tries to get a bit of value too, doesn't quite get it. Oh, but they're split on this wall. Not what you want to see. Surrounded by Sturgeon Imp. Tom with the spear out. Savior does go down to Albie. Albie gets a double kill. Oh, it's a redemption game for Albie, maybe, as he gets a triple, make it a quadra kill on all of the Imp. Just every single spear was hitting. A wonderful, wonderful little fight there for Albie. Quite impressive. Thanks so much for the follow. As Poppo is trying to get a bit of value here. Albie does get dismounted, but their first lives, it's not the end of the world. They really should be getting caught out in such a way, though. Alright. As Percy goes down. Tom goes down. But they've already got the value they looked for. There's one already dead. Can be with the spear. Can be blocking to prey. Burst surviving as well. Trying to get any value he can. Ooh, doesn't quite get it, but... Okay, we have a 5v6. Empire is doing well for themselves on this first round. Sturgy is, to be honest, doing better. But they still have these 3 heavy inf lives into these weaker Sturgian recruits. Savior does go down before the fight begins, and Pablo's getting hunted as well. This isn't what you want to see if you're an RPGs fan. As they start the fight. And here we have to see the inf getting a lot of value. Pablo comes in, tries to get a hit, doesn't quite get it. They're trying to get some value on anything. Sneaky goes down first. As does Reincarn, as does Morgan. And that's an incredibly clean first round from IE. Incredibly clean. And perhaps a sign of things to come. We'll see. Let's be nice to each other in the chat, guys. Come on. Let's be more wholesome. I say that as Arnie types that. That's so funny. Okay, IE Cav, playing more aggressive this time. They're the ones hunting. Saviour's probably not expecting that. His horse is really fucked up. One more hit on it, it's going to go down, but he's just about escaping. Oh, not quite. They don't quite get what they're looking for. As Pablo rears himself against the rock. Not what you want to do. The RPG's Cav this time flailing as Saviour gets taken down. Hopper with a double, maneuvering around the fight. No inf down yet from IE. And this is a fucking dominant display of fighting. Much better Cav work from IE. Albie's having a redemption set, I think. As Pablo does go down. And another lovely bump stab into Morgan. Twice into Morgan. Reincarn on 1 HP. As the imp are trying to reset. But there is still 2 imp left to reset. He takes down, gets a double. Popo dismounts him, however. As they do eventually finally get taken down. And another incredibly dominant round from IE. This is the IE I think everyone expects to turn up. Incredibly dominant. Someone's saying in the chat, put Sturgy back in. How rude. How rude. Check yourself. As IE take the lead for the series, back comfortably in the lead. And Saviour and Pablo going in for the Cav duel again, but I have the infantry with them. Nice hit in the back from Albie. Pablo's getting a little bit spit roasted. Saviour's not sure what he wants to do exactly. It's a lot harder for heavy Cav to duel when you're up close and personal in their face. While there is some shenanigans going on in Spawn, I don't know. Oh, they're doing the thing where they're swapping the jabs to get the stronger jabs, I think. That took them quite a while, though. And map control is completely on the side. Saviour goes down on his heavy life. Not what you want to see at all. Popper coming in. Doesn't quite get the hit, though. As now we have the triple recruit. But, ooh, no Cav. Only first life Cav. As they are now using these jabs, just running around, kiting them around. This is the whole point of the strategy, just bring them out, but unfortunately, they're the ones without the first life cav. So Percy does go down, Morgan's throwing into Popo's horse, trying to get as much value as he can. Does go down, but they have 3 lives of this, so more shenanigans are going to happen. This is going to be a very long round. As Tom is in their spawn, trying to kill their mans. He's getting stuck. Not quite what you want to see. Double kill for Sneaky, however. Sneaky also in a 1v1. Savvy gets a cleanup. They do eventually get these first lives, so maybe the strategy is working out for them. Pablo and Popo in a little 1v1. Albie nearly gets a hit, doesn't quite get it. Not much value there, as Tom is still resetting. Does eventually die. Not so bad. Oh, a throwing axe and a corpse kick from Arnie. As Pablo's horse is low. Popo gets another kill on one of the imp, and this is just a bit of a mess. This is how they want to do. Savvy goes down, but so does Albie. So a trade of the cav as Pablo gets a nice hit into Popo. Oh, and Pablo goes down. Tom gets a big jab in the head from Percy. And Sneaky's the only one with a life here. It doesn't matter too much if Sneaky dies. He's just trying to get a jab off. As IE begrudgingly, as I know how much fun it is to do so, finally cleaning up the imp. As Sneaky, the man, the myth, the legend. Doesn't quite get it. And it's a 3-0 on set 3. So that makes it 7. 3. Wonderful. As we go back to our scoreboard. And that was quite... Oh, 7-5, sorry, not 7-3. That's quite a dominant set for the side of IE. We really did see the full force of IE on show there. As more shit talk is coming out in the chat. We love to see it. And it's going to come down to last set. Not too surprising. But Sturgia, in my opinion, is, I don't know, probably stronger. I think Sturgia's stronger than Empire. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they're pretty close, to be honest. It depends on the situation, but I prefer Sturgia. Not first round, obviously, but after that, I prefer it. So we'll see. I think 1 round is a foregone conclusion. If they manage to win first round as Sturgia, then IE will certainly have problems. We'll see how it goes. The shit talk in the chat is monumental as we're nearing the end. Very competitive series so far. As we're going into the final set of the match. Good luck to both teams. RPG's 5, IE 7, set 4 of the match, sorry. Let's see if RPGs can make a 3-0 comeback, or whether it is a conclusion. Takes just 1 round to make it so that IE don't lose, and they are on the much stronger side at the beginning. Albie and Popo on the same position, it seems like. And they've kept the inf the same, I believe. I don't know. I wasn't paying too much attention. Big stab onto Popo. Popo's one hit now. But they are trading back. Engaging in the cav jaw. They don't care too much. A lot of damage down on the horses and the riders of RPGs as they pull away. They don't want to fully die here. Thank you so much for the follow. As they go back in again, Pablo's trying to guide him a little bit into his team, but doesn't manage to get it. And both sides are pretty injured on Cav. I'd say RPGs has the worst of it. Their horses and riders are both injured. As Popo gets to dismount behind them, will IE turn and finish him? And Savvy goes down as well. And IE are sort of cooking. As they go into final fight here. Pablo is a glorified spearman now. He tries to get the spear off, doesn't quite get it onto Popo. Popo's dancing around it. And the IE Inf are just cleaning up these RPG Inf. It's quite brutal. As Burst gets a triple kill. The young German goat. As they're immediately pushing their second lives. No time to think. Pablo's going to try and come in here and save his boys, but the Empire Inf is just a bit too strong for these little Sturgian recruits or warriors. And so we will get to be 8-5. Pablo's fell off about 3 times, I think. He's trying his best. Clutch moment. Not quite. As we go 8-5. With these factions, it's hard to play Archer. I mean, it's doable. It can be done, but I don't think you want to against an organized team. Especially in a high division like this, where Inf won't be making as many mistakes. Cav won't be showing themselves to you. So we'll see what happens. A little bit of score shit talk in the chat from Burst. Love to see it as the Cav duel begins again. And lovely back hit from Popo. Pablo's getting blocked into the Inf and he gets taken down. And it's like a reverse of the other game. The Cav are just dying. I take it back. Albie goes in for a bomb, gets punished. But Popo returns it. 1 Cav. The rest is just purely an Inf fight here. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. Morgan goes down first immediately. Arnie picking up the kill. Burst just swinging into Percy. Not relieving any pressure. Those axes are so fast. As Savvy gets dismounted on second. You hate to see it. And he doesn't have eco for a 3rd life. He's going to get absolutely bullied in this river. And killed. Tom just trying to live for some reason. Two-handing a spear. Probably having a bit of fun. As they give it a go. Percy goes down again. He's fully out now on these resets. Burst gets a double kill again. DL goes down. Traded for Pablo, though. It's now just Sneaky left, and he dies as well. And that is a very, very consistent second round. And that does mean that IE wins. So, GG to anyone who voted IE. More shit talk in the chat. Honestly, the IE players, now that they've won, are really laying into it. They're really laying into it now that they won the match. To be fair, Arnie shit talks permanently, but, you know. The intensity is increased. We have an archer. We have 2 archers. We have a two-handed. They've given up. They are doing their best to pretend that they care. Guys, they really don't care. Brackets. They actually do care. As we go into the final round. Let's watch some burst gameplay. He's been doing quite well. He's dealing with the two-handed quite well as well. Gets a beautiful kill on it. Morgan has a shit life. Looks like they're gonna just run out and get themselves killed. They don't give a shit about the match anymore. Archers in spawn. They don't care. They're still walking. Big back hits from burst. Huge. As they are cleaning up this imp fight. And there's just a couple of them left. This is what I like to call the "you didn't beat me, I gave up" strategy. I respect it. As Sneaky is the last one alive. Let's lock onto Sneaky, see if he can do anything. Or if he's just running around in circles, trolling them. I don't know. Let's find out. But foregone conclusion, unfortunately. Which means we do have a final score of 10-5. Just absolute dominance from IE on this second map. Albie's sort of dueling him. He gets stuck against a log. You hate to see it. He manages to escape out. He is just riding around. They're killing Popo, probably so he can go cav. Yep, there it is. They want to just finish the match. Sneaky is just trolling them. Missed jab, but he does get dismounted by Tom. And he's now running away. Score to be picked up by somebody. They're going to punch him to death. I think this is a valid punishment, to be honest. For wasting their time. Getting bumped, punching each other, punching him. He's trapped. Eventually tries to leave, but he does get killed. It doesn't matter, and it's 3-0 for a final score of 10-5 to IE. Honestly, that second map was incredibly dominant. It could have went either way. You saw it in the votes. But still, GG well played to RPGs and IE. That was a very entertaining match. Shit talk included. And thank you everyone for watching. Good luck if you're playing in the tournament in all of your matches for this week. I hope you did well if you played them already. For anyone who is unaware, this is Bannerlord Naval League 9. It's the 9th installment of the BNL, which is a skirmish Bannerlord multiplayer tournament. Essentially a 6v6. For anyone interested in that, or doesn't know what it is, I will link the Discord momentarily. I can't speak. Momentarily in chat. Other than that, please check out my YouTube channel. I'm going to be uploading all of the pre-matches that I stream. I'm not going to be editing them unless somebody wants to do that for me. Hit me up. But for anyone interested, GG well played. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope all of you have a lovely day. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Jagana, Ayada, Gunana, Yelana, Yelata, Burgud, Post Ingri, Azit, Suana,